Hello all, welcome to Sunday Q A again. I'm out in the garden today because it's not that warm. I've got a hat on. But my mother-in-law is around. In fact, she bought me this hat for Christmas. It's a very nice hat. I'm very lucky. I get on well with both my in-laws. It's not a Les Dawson sort of affair here. Contemporary reference for the 18 to 25-year-olds. She's lovely. But she can talk. I just talk. I mean, about nothing. Or the same thing every week. I mean, it's no coincidence that you never see two women sitting opposite each other in silence. And I've got stuff to do. I'm a busy man. So, rather than having to do the Q&A with them, I mean, I've been up early. I've had to go to Camden and see a geezer, owed him some money, when I borrowed to buy a van back in the day. I've had to come back, do the cards, do the PODs, post the PODs, talk to the mechanic, supposed to meet the transport manager. Daniel's not well at the moment. We get well soon. Daniel, I need to talk to you about them infringements. I've got 2 infringements that are pinged up and I haven't done anything wrong. And I know what it is I'm doing differently and I need to speak to him because I need to know. I've put it on, I've like, if you do 30-minute break, clear your drive time, then put it on hammers for 2 minutes and do a walk round, 5 minutes, do a walk round, add the AdBlue, oil the straps, then put it back on break for 15 minutes. Do them 15 minutes count? Because according to Taco Master, they don't. But I'm thinking, I don't understand why they don't. Anybody knows any better, let me know. Because I put my card in this morning, it pinged up with 2 infringements. Like, you what? I haven't seen any infringements on my car for like 3 months. Like, you know, well before Christmas. And I was angry. Because I hadn't done anything wrong here. So we've got to get to the bottom of that one. Yeah, so where was we? Out in the garden, mother-in-law's inside, nice hat. Yeah. I've forgotten, lose my thread all the time. Right, so Sunday Q&A, going to split. I'll do Sunday Q&A Sunday and then Sunday Q&A extra on a Monday. That way, you won't have to listen to videos that go on for an hour. And there are videos out there. I don't know why you bother. And also, I get two lots of adverts, a little bit of extra cheddar cheese for Pete. You know, it's not all about the altruism. He's a selfish one, Pete. You want to watch him. Listen to the comments. Be careful. Right, introduction this week. Right now, I did suggest, can we have some questions for the CX? Because they kind of said they might be up for an interview, like the one I did with Ben at HBC. They have declined. Fair enough. It was never set in stone. They can do what they want to do. Like I say, it's nothing to do with me. But what I'm going to do is I've got all the questions written down, and I am. Charles Warnish said it's no surprise Secure Exchange and not wanting to answer any questions. I wonder why. I don't know. It's down to them. I kind of thought it might be an opportunity for them to put their side of things, but no worries. What I'll do is I'll throw the questions out. I think what I may end up doing is just do. If we still have Vincent, Vincent the Bear, he's now with a transport manager superhero Daniel Garumba's kids. I might have done it like between him and the Bear. Do a bit of ventriloquist act. Go on again. You know. I'll drink the glass of water. Did that once. But I'll just answer. I'm going to throw the questions out. At least that way, if they watch the video, they'll know what questions are out there. We can raise concerns via the video channel, which maybe they will put right or answer or do something about. And also, there will be people on the channel, as always, much wiser than me, who might answer for us. So what do we get? I'm going to do the videos we did. We did one on the LEZ, we did one on the new plan and a bit of miscellaneous, and then I'm going to do the extra one on short wheelbase and long wheelbase because that got a lot of responses. So I want to come on to that one later. So in fairness, I might not get through all of this, but we'll have to wait and see. Right, LEZ. Now the rules changed on Monday the 1st of March 2020. The rules, the LEZ zone, which previously has always been it's in the same place as it has been, hasn't changed. The zone itself, the actual boundary of the zone hasn't changed. The rules were before vehicles over 3.5 tons that had to be at least Euro 4 to go into the zone. As of this Monday, vehicles over 4.5 tons, over 3.5 tons, have to be over Euro 6. So suddenly, a whole area, it's like suddenly, it's like a whole area has just disappeared. I can't go to it. I can, but I have to pay the charge. So, anyway, responses to this. Andrew Gulen says, He's confused with the ULEZ and the LEZ. He said, if you are confused with the ULEZ and the LEZ, just go to the TfL website, put your vehicle ridge and the checkbox and see whether you have to pay to enter the various zones. Yeah, that does work. And in fairness, I have got a new app on my phone and it's called TfL Drive. And you can download the app and you can put your postcode in and you can register your vehicle and it will do it by an app on your phone. It's very good. Obviously, you'd rather not. You'd rather just know whether you could or you couldn't, because it's another bit of a faff for something you're trying to do when you're waiting a quote for a job. Oh, I can go in there. Oh, it's sold. Brilliant. Or, oh, I can go in there. I'll ring them. Yeah, you just missed it, mate. We just let it go. Sorry. But anyway, I'm getting the hang of it. Steve Campbell says, ain't Brentwood in the LE zone but just outside the 25? I checked it. No. Brentwood is not in the zone. The long and the short of it is this. Everything outside the M25 is not in the LEZ zone. Inside the M2, everything, not everything in the M25, inside the circle of the M25, is in the LEZ zone, but lots of things are. Watford isn't. Borehamwood isn't. What's that? Oh, Swanley isn't. Epsom isn't. But there's like, so if you imagine a circle of the M25, and then squash that bit down the top and squash this bit a bit at the bottom, so it's like a kind of heart shape. That is the zone inside the M25. Where I come unstuck when I took my, after telling everybody else don't go into the zone from Monday, and then did my first job straight into the zone, which incidentally did get picked up on the cameras, and I have been charged £100 on the auto pay. So the auto pay does work. If you register for the auto pay, at least you won't get a fine. The fine is £500. So if I had driven in there and I hadn't been registered and it picked me up, they could have charged me £500. Having said that, I think it works. If you haven't had your vehicle registered before, you kind of get the first one as a warning. They send you out, they said you've driven into the zone, you've got to pay £100 to come in here, don't do it again, next time you'll be charged. So I think, don't take my word for that, but I think that's the way it worked. That's the way it kind of worked last time. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that's a kind of heart-shaped thing. You can get it up on a map. You can get it from the TfL website. Have a look. It's not always that clear. It's not always that easy to navigate, but you can get it done. Domain name guy says, why not do a vlog specifically for the zones where drivers can list the areas they're in and they're not in, with a thumbs up according to the price of the job? There are too many areas to list. There are just hundreds of them in there. But what I am going to do is I'm going to do a vlog trying to sort of, because I think there is confusion. Arpad says, thanks Pete, by the way, LEZ is up to M25. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But yeah, I am kind of going to do some kind of a vlog a bit more specific about how it's working. I've done one before, but obviously it's changed. Also, he said, why not add a £100 ULEZ charge on the job and deduct it if not fined, rather than trying to get paid afterwards? Well, £100 is not the fine. £500 is the fine. £100 is how much it gets to drive in. And the problem is you'd never get the jobs. And this is the difficulty that I'm finding. And you understand it, is I have got a plan, which we come to in a minute, in fairness, which is, if you're a customer and you ring up the shipper and you say, right, I need them 3 pallets moved in again like we do every Tuesday, and the guy says yes, it wasn't, it's normally like, because I charge say £150, it's normally £200, now it's £300. He's going to go, what? That's like a 50% pay increase. I'm not paying that. But they'll find Euro 6s to go in there or what have you. But what I'm finding is what part of the idea will be, get the first job into the zone, charge him an extra £50. So rather than being £150, you charge him £200 because he's got to go into the zone, and then get the second job coming out of the zone. But that's dependent on getting the second job coming out of the zone. So it's work in progress here, guys, But no, I have lost. I mean, I say we're in a very busy area, but we've just lost a massive area. It's a bit like you're a fisherman and then suddenly someone turns around and says, all that area you used to fish in? Can't do that no more. Can't go there no more. But we get loads of our fish. But we're here. And we get loads of it. No, that ain't yours. It's a right kick. But there we go. That's life, isn't it? And that's the way it goes. Life ain't fair and the world is mean. Domain, what we got? The main guy also says the best way is not to go into London, which is kind of, that's part of the plan. Go down the M21, turn left or right, just don't go straight on. The M1. And go, when it gets to the M25, turn left or right, don't go straight on. In fairness, you can go straight on. The junction for the M25 on the M1 is junction 6. You can go down as far as junction 3. junction 3 is Scratchwood Services, and you can pull off at the up ramp. I drove past it today in my Mini, because I had to go and see that gauge in Camden, didn't I? Drive around the roundabout and drive back down again. But if you drive past junction 3, bang, there you go, you're in. He says, and also coming back to like the London thing, and this is kind of, well, you know, because everyone thinks, okay, well, we're Euro 6 now, great, I'll go and get a Euro 6 van, but how long's that going to last? He says, apparently, Amazon have just allegedly ordered 100,000 electric vans, which will put the volume of electric vans into the road network, cheaper for us to buy second hand. Well, that's lovely, they ain't going to be up for 3 years, but 100,000 vans coming up second hand in about 3-4 years, brilliant. I saw one of them electric vans. I had to deliver a massive engine to Mercedes. It was like the mega truck size engine. And they had the guy and he was driving in and out, and it was like, oh, it's silent. It's like the future. And the guy says there's nothing here, it's just a button. Fascinating. Makes you wonder if they could have done this like, 40, 50 years ago. This environmental thing. Not going to go there. Steve at SDC Services. He said, I think we're all going to end up with city ports getting everything delivering to the city ports, and then electric milk floats deliver it in, which is kind of, I think that could be the way. I think eventually everything will go electric. I reckon in the next 10 years, the cars will basically, there'll be very few, hello mate, you all right? There'll be very few diesel cars, and then probably about 10 years after that, there'll probably be very few diesel vans. It's the future, isn't it? Then there'll probably robots and flying cars, and then there'll be teleports, and then there'll be space travel and aliens, all of which I will be long dead and not see. I just take it as it comes. Lee Allen. He says, when I'm picking up at the toy warehouse in Harrow, I come off at junction 3. I don't think you mean junction 3, I think you mean junction 4. Of the M1 and go that way, as the M40 has a lot of restrictions and is a pain. As for Dartmouth, he says, I don't actually like going over it because when I had my regular Friday job from Lichfield to Rochester, I don't like heights. My dad was afraid of heights, and he was always, he looked at this bridge and he thought, I'm going to have to go over that bridge, it's terrifying. It's weird, it's not so bad. I get more scared, can't go there no more. There's a bridge on the A13. It's only a little one, and it goes over a roundabout. I get more scared going over that because it's like, right near the edge, and you've got this metal central reservation, you're thinking, boom, I'll go over that, than I do going over the Dartford crossing. I mean, I've been backwards and forwards across the Prince of Wales Bridge. It's pretty, it's lovely. That's way up in the air, but yeah, I know what you mean. Shame, in the old days you should go through a tunnel. I don't know which is more dangerous. Van on the Run says, sounds like a nightmare, Pete. He said, hopefully the CX will put LEZ warning note on the jobs. That would be the way forward. Like at the moment it says warning ULEZ. If it's on 7.5 tonne or above, it should say warning LEZ. Can't be that tricky, can it really? Maybe you could give a CX nudge. I think Gemma's rung on whether they'll do anything or not, I don't know. As I'm in a Euro 6, the October change will favour me. Yeah, my mate Franz is in the same boat. He said he doesn't like going much further than the M25. But no, there are people out there that are going to be in Euro 6s. And from October the 21st, suddenly there's going to be a load more work for you guys, because suddenly all the Euro 5s, and I believe my Mercedes was a Euro 5, because I had to pay it was a Euro 5 because I had to pay to go into the ULEZ, whereas Al didn't because his Transit, which is still off the road, is a Euro 6. But a lot of you will benefit when the time comes, so and Andrew Goolan says again, he says, so the way I read it is the LEZ from today, that was last Monday, has emissions restrictions for vehicles over 3.5 tonne. The ULEZ extension inside the North and South Circular has restrictions on all vehicles dependent on emissions from the October 21st. Like I say, I'll do a video in a nutshell. But yeah, that's basically the size of things, mate. So there we go with that one. I think I'm going to go straight on to... Should we do this? What's the time? Yeah, I'm going to go... No, let's crack on. Come on. Right. The new plan. So what am I going to do as a result of this? So I might do a bit of tramping. I've done the maths on it. I mean, the thing is, like I said, I've done that job to Wales, and I got out to Wales, and I got a rope for going out there. And then I stayed in a hotel for the night, and then I got up at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got in my van, put my card in. I sat there for an hour and a half, nothing. And then there was one job coming out of Chepstow, which is an hour further east, going to basically back the way I came. And I'm thinking, well, if I take that might be the only job I get, and then I've got to go home because it's a Friday. It's not like it's not like wherever I end up because it's a Friday. I know if it's going to dry up over the weekend, I want to be home for the weekend. I shouldn't have gone up slowly, should I? So I thought, well, I'm going to head back to base and hopefully something will ping up. One pinged up, Gloucester to Manchester and then Sheffield. Missed it by 2 minutes. I eventually got Andover to Corby, and that was like for 2.5. But I picked it up at 11 o'clock. So I did 4 hours and 2 3/4 worth of driving time to fetch the job. That doesn't work out. Because when you take into account the diesel that I've done, running into Wales, running back from Wales, staying in a hotel, not being at home, extra wear and tear on a vehicle, I'm better off staying here, doing like 1 or 2 jobs a day on no diesel, and then doing the rest of my time writing my book. Having said that, I don't want to do that. I want to make some money. So, and I was lucky. At the end of the day, I dropped off in Corby and one pinged up Milton Keynes to Milton Keynes. It was heavy. They needed a heavy. It wasn't even heavy. They needed a big tail lift. And I didn't even have a big tail lift. But I knew a way to get it on. This is the thing. If you've got a little one, you need to use your imagination more. I am, of course, talking about tail lifts. I meant to say that to him and I forgot. Matthew Smith, he says, it's nice to see you tramping all over the UK now. Well, let's see how it goes, Matthew. I don't know if I am or not. Loads of suggestions for parking right now. The parking, the in-truck app is apparently very useful, and Motorway Buddy is useful. Also look at Snap Parking, where sites can be pre-booked, which is helpful if you're parking up late. Also try Hotel Tonight app, which will search your location and give you cheap hotels for that night. Probably worth ringing ahead to make sure they can accommodate the 7.5 tonne truck. That's the problem I've got. And lastly, looking on eBay, so I found myself some nice 12 tonne DAF sleepers that are Euro 6 around 16k, which is sensible miles, which I didn't think that was all that bad. All the best, pal. Yeah, you're right. I mean, to go Euro 6 in a sleeper, 18 tonne sleepers, Euro 6 are selling between 15, 16 up to about 25. Depending on the mileage and stuff like that. Alternatively, Euro 5 sleepers. Bye, Dor. Take care, love. She's off. Finished chatting. The Euro 5 sleepers are about 5 to 8. And the question you've got to ask yourself is, that's going to cost me an extra 10, maybe. 10 grand. Now that's like, that's a lot of jobs. Am I going to get that money back? I don't know. I'm going to wait and see. And also you get to drive a newer lorry, maybe more fuel efficient lorry, maybe nicer lorries. I like my lorry. Nothing wrong with it. Okay, so it's got a slightly newer dash. Brilliant. You know, I'm not so fussed about motors when it comes down to that kind of thing, but I'll make that decision when I come to it. My test is currently booked for May the 19th. So on May the 19th, we'll make a decision then, if I pass. Steve Campbell has given me a very long list, mate. Thanks very much. He's our man up in Newcastle. He's plenty of places to park in Washington. He goes on to the best places to park near the Nissan plant. If you're in that area, you need someone to park. Read the comments. Read Steve Campbell's comment, because he's basically listed everything. You know, maybe sleep in his caravan. No, it's not going to happen, Steve. I wouldn't impinge on you, mate. The truth of the matter is, there's a firm round here I get on very well with, and they've got a job coming from Peterlee. Picking up Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. So I might ring them, or I might have a word with them on the way up here and go, Luke or Charlie, you know that job you got coming out of Peterlee that's got to go down to Wolverhampton? Could be a man on that one. Give them a cheap rate. They want backload. It's not in a rush. I'll give them a decent price. Give them a very decent price. So I'll give them such a decent price, I don't really mind if I don't get it, because then I might just wing it. I'll wake up in the morning and I'll go here, there and everywhere. Like, so I don't mind hitting the road for the week. Just see how it pans out, really, to be honest with you. Lee Westcott says, I never quote a job without a full postcode. The problem with this is a lot of jobs on the CX are not listed with a full postcode, because as a shipper, if you give out the full postcode, there's a fear that then somebody will know. If you see that postcode coming out all the time, they'll go, hang on a second, I'm going to see what's there. Might ring them up and go, I notice you such a lot, you need a courier firm, you're not technically doing anything wrong, I suppose. You might be, I don't know, it's not the kind of thing I would do. But, see the postcode, think, right, I'm going to target that area. If you give them a generic postcode, what you can do is you can ring them, if they say e-quotes only, and they'll take a phone call. If they don't, they'll take a phone call and go, like, here's I need your full postcode to give you a price on the job. I don't know about that one. But the thing I would do is I'm going to say, look, I know what the areas are now. So if I quote a job going to Dartford, and I'm going to quote it, and they ping it through, and it's not in Dartford, it's in Hackney or Haringey or something like that, or I don't know, a Barking, I'm going to ring them up and say, is to get this on the market. You sold me one thing and you've delivered another. Don't like it when it happens. You told me Dartford, and it's not Dartford, it's Barking. The problem with Barking is Barking's inside the zone, and if you want me to do it, I'll do it, but it's going to cost you another £100. And I think I'm in my rights to do that, because I sell you one thing, deliver another. It's no good. So, Van on the Run, he says, I'm interested to know what you think of the tramping lifestyle, Pete. He said, hopefully not necessarily for much longer, though. Hopefully not. He said, I totally agree when it's been quiet everywhere, and it has been quiet. Being able to go anywhere for the right money really pays off. He said, you're being right. Sorry, that was a bit blurred, wasn't it? He said, that said, I'm in a bigger van now, still tramping like before, but takings are up by 2/3 to 3/4 that they were before Christmas. I have lowered my price expectations a little, but I'm not working for silly low rates. That's important. You can't work for silly low rates. You'll just go bust. Conveyor belt of fools. Not unusual for me to sit around 4+ hours between jobs at the moment. That's like me. Yeah, that was like me on Friday. 4 hours to get my next job, and I had to drive. I must have driven 100 miles to get it. It's ludicrous. You're doing money here. It just doesn't make economic sense. But I had to head in the direction of home anyway, so I couldn't just sit there forever. I could have been still. That was ironic. Well, that wouldn't really have worked out. I dropped off some kidney machines down to Cardiff Hospital a little while ago, probably 2 or 3 weeks ago, for a friend of mine. And I was driving back, and he's gone to pick up the kidney machines. And he said, can you tell me where you dropped them? Because hospitals are like a maze. He said, where? And I had to tell him, go down here, around here, down there, through the no entry, got across the bit that says buses only up, and that's where it is, the renal unit, And then I went, hang on a minute, Mick, where are you? He said, Cardiff. I went, I was in Cardiff. I drove past there. But you're not going to ring up everybody and go, hello, I'm in Cardiff at the moment. Got any jobs? Because they're going to go, no. Why are you ringing me? So, yeah. But as it was, he couldn't be picked up till 2 o'clock anyway. And by the time that by 2 o'clock, I was in Corby. So you don't really want to be in Cardiff at 2 o'clock. I could have done it. But he might put the kibosh on Friday, on Monday's job, the far away land job. Yeah. So Toontown. So yeah, silly rates. 95 between jobs, could lower my rates to keep busy, but I wouldn't be any better off where it counts. Profit. You see that sense? There's plenty of work for those who work for nothing. Don't run for nothing. If they ain't going to pay you, go, job pays 50 quid, does it? Not in my world, it don't. Let someone else do it. And then he says, also, that's a good point, this. I found while hotels are nice sometimes, it's easier to tramp in the vehicle. Now, I know what he's saying here. It's not bad once you're in the routine, and we'll keep in the back. Well, I've got a bed and a heater, so I can't really moan. Washington is very well connected roads-wise, and it's probably the best area to purchase for your next job, so hopefully I will get something coming back regardless. Yeah, so I know what he's saying with the tramping in the vehicle. It's like when I parked up, I went down the Ibis, the Daisy, and I said, you got a room for the night? The geezer said, yeah, got a room for the night, lovely. Then I haven't got anything to eat. So I'm thinking, right, well, I wouldn't mind a kebab. I love a kebab. I know you're not supposed to, but I love them. But I think, well, if I drive my truck to the kebab house and get a kebab, and then I'll drive back, and all the slots are filled, I've got, not that it's likely, but it might be, I've got a room for the night and nowhere to park the lorry. So I can't really move. So instead, there was a Burger King. Well, I couldn't be bothered with that. So I went to the petrol station, ended up with a sausage roll, a cheese slice, and a sort of pizza-ish type thing, which was full of pastry, lukewarm, and very tasteless. I want a bag of Monster Munch. And a bar of Dairy Milk. Breakfast. It's a dinner of champions, I tell you. But then, of course, I've got all this stuff in. And as I've got in, and then I've gone back to the geezer on the concierge, and gone, because the Wi-Fi weren't working, it's coming up as protected on the Google thing. I ended up going for I went to use that Bing, I used that Microsoft, I got in that way. Just to get me Netflix up, or to get up me Sky on the go, so I can watch the exploding helicopter film. I watched that Spectral. Basically, it's aliens with ghosts. It's alright. It's very enjoyable. And as I did, a geezer comes out of one of the rooms, and he opens up the door, and there's like Deliveroo, or the local kebab house. It was Bridge Kebabs. And there you go. And I'm thinking, I've got to work this Just Eats out. I could have just Googled kebab houses in the area. I did actually Google kebab houses in the area just to spite myself, and it was like shawarma. the supreme kebab, you know, that's going to be like the lovely steak with the supreme sauce and the cheesy chips. And it came to with the delivery, which weren't cheap. That was a chink. It was like 14 quid. I thought, you know what? I've just done £8 in a petrol station buying lukewarm pastries. I really could have done that. But hey, we learn as we go. So yeah, I'll do miscellaneous on Monday. Guys, hope you're all well. I find as a conclusion, David Cav everything. Sorry, mate, I'm terrible at second names. He said, love the videos, Pete. Oh yeah, thanks very much. Just about to start tramping, so this video is particularly interested me. Like I say, I'll let you know how it goes. They said, never mind the he said, that said, never mind the tramping. Look at that gaff. That's a lovely place, fella. What a beautiful joint. Is it a converted barn or something? Who don't want to sleep in a van if they had that to come home to? Well, you're quite right. I don't want to sleep in a van. I do want to come home. I like coming home to my family. And someone's asked me about this before, the architecture guy, and I will do you a video explaining the house. And I'm a very lucky man to have it, and I have struggled to keep it. In the meantime, I will continue to struggle to keep it by getting up at 6 on Monday, then driving to Ongar, then driving to Grays, then having it unloaded, then wait for an hour, and then driving it to Washington. Because that's how I take care and take money.